if you have to sacrifice to look good, you're never going to look good long term. Look like X. That means I'll be more liked, I'll be more loved, I'm going to be, have great sex, I'm going to have a great relationship. Well, you're not going to get any of those because maybe initially at first glance you will, but once you go into a deeper relationship, those things fall apart because your actual identity is back here. You just say created a facade of yourself that looks good. A lot of models do that. They're tortured on the inside, right? They're starving to death, and I've worked with a lot of models actually to turn it around. And they still look just as gorgeous, by the way, just as beautiful, but without that gaunt feeling of not eating, because again, that's another sacrifice pattern, guys. The key is that you don't, if you have to sacrifice to look good, you're never going to look good long term. Straight out. You never are going to look good long term. Even if you attract somebody, your beauty starts to fade once they start to see the weaknesses, the distortions, and all the things that you sacrificed that you shouldn't have for your beauty. And it becomes a burden on the relationship. If you want a long-term relationship, some people, I don't know, they might like short-term relationships, but I don't see a lot of women wanting short-term relationships. And that's why that doesn't work either. The other aspect of it is that a lot of people, and again, no offense, there's a lot of beautiful women out there that are scantily clad, on beaches and so on. And by the way, you all look beautiful, but why are you doing that? If you're going, well, that's going to catch me more attention. Sure, but everybody else is doing that. So if you're doing that to, again, seduce people or make yourself look good, but then, when you're alone and you're looking at yourself, how do you really feel? Because that will come out in the relationship later on. You can't keep that cover up. So the other aspect is like, well, I'll just be overweight or I'll just be underweight or whatever it is, and I'll just look the way I am. That's it's I'm not getting to that point, guys. The point is, why are you looking the way you want to look? Okay. For example, people who do XI, they do, the XI total human reset. They have a solid understanding of who they are. They have a really brilliant image of this is me. I am, say, a top-notch individual. I have this identity that I know deserves a really great body. So you don't have to sacrifice. You naturally gravitate towards the foods and move away from the foods that don't work out well for you, right? You would naturally gravitate to love to exercise. You don't kill yourself to exercise. You don't, starve yourself to get into shape. You actually get or eat the right foods. And even if you did, say, autophagy, which is, starving yourself for a day or two, whatever, you do it because it strengthens you. It cleans your inner system out. It brings your inner dialogue, that inner dialogue between your higher version and who you are. So you get the same results. But the key is that your internal self of who you are is solid and complete. You're not a slave like a lot of, say, top models, right? They're slaves. They're burdened by their beauty. In fact, I've worked with a lot of them and they hate their beauty because it's like they're imprisoned by their beauty because if they don't look perfectly perfect, right? And they never do, they never look perfectly perfect. Although for many, it's like, oh my God, they're stunning, drop dead gorgeous. And it's like, damn, you know, it's not good enough. I have a little freckle here. I need to get surgically removed. They're going to get to that point, right? Over time. So you can do it the other way, again, by being perfect on the inside, and it resonates the perfection that you are on the outside, and you look more beautiful than ever. And that beauty, by the way, stays longer for you. Because as we age, obviously body shapes, especially for women, they change, but you don't have to change. Your body shape doesn't have to look like your mom and dad's. You don't. You can stay slim. You can stay trim. A lot of those top-notch models, you look at them nowadays, like in their 20s, and now they're in their 60s, and you can see the vast difference. So how long does beauty last that way? But if you do it the XI way, you can look gorgeous and beautiful and elegant, throughout your older aging process as well. Even if you say starve yourself, you strengthen from it. You don't destroy yourself. Even if you have to eat tomato juice, whatever, for a couple of weeks to lose weight, which you won't. You naturally will lose weight. You won't have that yo-yo effect coming up for you again. And the most importantly, you're going to love who you are on the inside because there's a lot of people who look great on the outside and they look at themselves in the mirror and they go, shit, I feel like crap on the inside still. And then and then the war between in between them gets even worse because it's like I look so good, but my life is still the same on the inside, you know. So all those get eliminated because who you are and what you're reflecting out is, congruent or identical, and you actually start to love yourself, and people will actually start to love you even more. The advice for those who see those perfect bodies out there thinking that they have it all, just remember, guys, Instagram, you will have to ask yourself, well, how long did it take for them to have the perfect lighting, you know, for that 1 second shot? Are they looking like that all the time? Or again, how long did they struggle and suffer to get into that body shape in the first place? Again, the key is struggling and suffering, right? So a lot of people actually, once they flip it around and go, God, I am deserving of being the best possible self that I am, you don't have to struggle. Your exercise regime, your eating habits, and all that stuff become a part of your life, and you actually start to enjoy it and you own it and you start to deserve it. You get the same results, by the way. You get the even better results because you don't go into a yo-yo effect. It's long term. This is, and I'm not just talking months. This is for the rest of your life. It's long term. You age, gracefully. For me, I'm 61 years old, and people are telling me I look younger and younger, day by day. And do you notice that also the vibrancy of my skin and other people who do XI, the vibrancy is of a youthful person, not just like, oh, he's 60, he's 61 years old. He looks healthy, but he's like aging like a 61-year-old. It's not like that. The vibrancy stays with you as well, right? And it all can be, and again, it's all available for you, if you do XI.